Hey everyone, hope it's all going well. Here we have another trying to fix video. So in this video here we're going to be doing, I don't know exactly what this is. It's got a lot of age to it. I didn't do any research into it whatsoever. I've just seen it 40 on eBay, caught my eye and I thought I'd go for it. It was only £5 plus £5 postage. So it looks like some old horse racing board game. Now I know this isn't going to be everyone's cup of tea, but at the same time I do like to do different things on the channel. The problem with that is that often you're out of your comfort zone and people just think you're a bit of an idiot because you don't know what you're doing. But they need to remember that trying different items all the time, often it can be challenging. So it's easy to become an expert on something when you do something day in, day out, the same item all the time, or the same set of items. Well, not easy, but you know what I mean, easier. But when you start doing different things, you realise that often things are not that straightforward. So it says here, electric derby, made in England, which is quite nice to see. I don't know the age of this. Maybe we'll find out somewhere, but it's definitely, I would say it's definitely at least 40 years old, probably even older. Oh, look at this. Ah, look at that. Right, okay, this looks like there should be lights in here. Do you have to wind it up or something? Lights in here, and then maybe they light up when the horse comes in first place and you have a bet on what's going to be first. What's this rolling around in here? It looks like, it's a head. It's one of their heads, isn't it? So one of these is going to be headless, the Headless Horseman. And here he is. This is the Headless Horseman number 4. Right, okay, no instructions. Any instructions on? No. So let's open it up. Oh, it's all riveted. Oh, that's annoying. This is riveted on. Or are they pins? Oh no, they're pins. Are they pins? Yeah, look at them, little pins. Nice and safe. Pin up the top here as well. Let's take all the pins out and then see what's happening. I mean, is it not working just purely because it hasn't got light bulbs in it? I wonder whether I'd struggle to get those light bulbs now. But they were definitely the light bulbs as a kid now. If you were messing around with anything electronics, it was always handy to have a light bulb like this because that was your continuity tester. Right, I'm going to get some tools because these pins are, some of these are quite... they're in quite well. I've just seen an empty bit in here. I wonder if this just undoes. Yeah, and then you're going to have a battery compartment in here, aren't we? Yeah, there we go. So there's some weird battery that goes in there. So this really has got a lot of age to it. A lot of age. This is reminding me more of that Triang. Do you remember one of the competitions I did with Steve, Tronics Fix, where we did the old toys, the Triang train set? That's reminding me of this. And this all goes into wood here. This is all wood around here. I would say this is more 1950s. And I wonder now, does this ground, so this spins, and this bit of copper here, I wonder, does this ground against one of these, causing the lights to light up? So let's get our continuity tester out. Let's see now if this middle one second now, let's go into the middle of the light bulb. There we go. So that's that one there. So number 5. No, 5's not working. 4's working. 3's working. 2's working. And 1's working, so 5, there's no continuity there. And I wonder now with the ground, where does that... well, we can worry about the ground later. Yeah, this, do you know what? Look, I know it's a toy that's not worth anything, but already I'm interested in it. More interested in this than, for example, doing something like a Nintendo Switch that I've looked at many times before. Right, let's try to get these pins out here. So while I'm struggling with the pins here, let's give a shout out to the My Mate Vince Massive, which this month is Saturnine Cinema, Operational 117, KitDigital.com, Kip Hakes, Max Rokotansky, Jaw Media, Will Michaelis, Having Fun Repairs. So massive thanks to you guys. Out of those ones there, a few of them actually have YouTube channels themselves. Having Fun Repairs, I believe, has just started up. Jaw Media and Kip Hakes. So check them out. There might be something you might like. And KitDigital.com, he has a repair shop in the UK. Come on. Come out. These are incredibly hard. I don't think this has ever been apart, which is nice, isn't it? Right, I broke the lid off that one there. That one came away from the lid. It looks like I've got one left to do. Okay, let's see, now is it going to come apart? Yes, it is. Excellent. Right, so what have we got here now? Ah, that's interesting. Is that cardboard? Or is it tin? No, it is cardboard. It's foil. It's cardboard with foil on one edge. Yeah, so now, why isn't that one working? Which one? It was this one here, wasn't it? That wasn't giving a signal through. So that one is this one, which goes up around. So maybe there's an issue on this end here. So this isn't really going to be repairable, because these are going to be... Well, mind you, I suppose this little nail's holding that in. Maybe I could prise that up. So we've got one from the switch here, one from that part of the battery going all the way down to the switch. And then let's see where this one goes to. Can't see where that one goes to. I wonder, does that go to the middle there? Let's have a look. No. Surely that should go to there to make the contact, to make the circuit. Not really set up for it here. I haven't got any woodworking tools to prise these things up. I think it's been held down in the middle here. I wonder, does that unscrew? Yes, I think it might do. No, it's just spinning, but it's not actually unscrewing from anything. I don't know how that's held in. I can't just prise it up because the board's just going to break, you see. I want the pins to come up. I don't want the heads to go through this tiny little bit of board, because this is just like a man-made board. There you go, it's gone, the pin's gone through that one there, you see. Okay, that's one nail out. Another one. Another one. And I can't get to that one just yet. So it's still held in by this middle section. Well, that's interesting. Oh no, that goes round there. So that middle one does go to that middle contact, does go to that one. You know, that side of the battery contact is going here. Oh, and look, there's horrible grease on it here. Let me just get a tissue. Well, I suppose I have to also... These must be massive pins here as well. They are. They're like huge drawing pins for the batteries. Yes, at long last we have it out. So we'll have a good look at that in a minute. Let's just take this one out here. There we go. Right, so what have we got here? Is that just a lump of grease there? Yeah, that's just a lump of grease on the bottom of the wood. I thought there might have been some little hole or something. So let's see what's happening here. So I'm not saying it's nicely made, it's cheaply made, but it's a novelty. I've never seen a design like that before using wood and stuff. It's more like something you would knock together at home. But it's nice, you know, it's nice to see that rather than something being just big lumps of plastic. We have a little bit of felt here, which is strange, like from a snooker table. It's weird. Right, okay, so what have we got here then? So the one that wasn't working was this one here, I think, which goes round up to that one there. So why was that not working? Maybe it's just a bit corroded on the inside. Let's have a look. So from here, yeah, we've got the connection now. So we got it to here. So obviously it's a problem with the join between there and there. Yeah, look. Right, okay, so that's that. Now, why haven't we got a connection on this middle bit here? Because that looks to be in contact with it. Okay, so it's losing it where it meets the foil. So it's losing it here. So this is held on with a little circlip, so I suppose underneath here the foil's probably just worn away. Let's see if I can loosen the circlip off. There we go. Alright, circlip is now off. So that can now push all the way through, like so. And I think that was the problem there. Maybe there's no continuity between the middle bit. Yeah, can you see there's nothing between there and there? It's cut through. Yeah, so the circlip has broken this section here. There you go. Okay. Right, okay, so that's that little mystery solved. Obviously, I have to buy light bulbs for it. Also, I don't know what sort of battery would have gone in there, because the battery, you see, will be putting the voltage straight into the light bulb, so you wouldn't want to be putting 3 volt light bulbs in there if it was a 12 volt battery. I'm not sort of sure what, that's some weird battery there, but they did have different batteries before, batteries that are now obsolete. Right, so that's that sorted. Now, also the switch. What's the switch doing? How nice is this? That's, I think that might be Bakelite. Okay, so is this just allowing it to... Oh, this is just to turn the whole thing on, isn't it? Because otherwise I suppose there would be a bulb lit all the time, every time somebody was to turn the horses here. So, let's check now. So we haven't got continuity there. Flip the switch. And we still haven't got continuity. Saying that, we must have had... No, it doesn't mean we're going to have continuity, because I was only testing from here. I was only testing from here to here. So this is from the, I presume, like the positive of the battery or the negative of the battery. It's not going to make a difference, is it? So we also have a slight problem Also got a slight problem here as well. Here you can see why it's not working. So these metal things go straight down onto the track, and if you have a look, can you see how corroded that track has gone in there? I wonder whether that can be scraped away. Let's have a look. Yeah, look at it, it's just gone chalky. Look at that. Look at it all. Do you know what? This is going to be from the negative, isn't it? Because it's going to be from the outer ones. In fact, shouldn't we have continuity between all of them and here? Which we haven't. So although you can see it's a very simple game, you can see that there's a lot of work involved in trying to get it working again. So because of all the corrosion in the bits that you can't see underneath the light sockets and stuff like that, I can't get there to clean because they're riveted down, and if I was to prise them up to try to be able to clean underneath them, then they're prised up and they're going to make a loose connection just by the very fact that they're prised up. So really, looking back while I'm editing this, I should have just run wires everywhere. But at the time of filming, I thought I could just run tiny bits of slug tape, you know, the copper tape that you get, the adhesive copper tape, in between the faulty bits. And then I could just solder between the copper tape onto the aluminium existing cardboardy tape that's already there. But that was a big mistake because no matter what I did, I could not get the solder to stick onto the aluminium. I googled it and apparently you can solder aluminium at a high temperature, but I'm wondering whether you need a different kind of solder, a different kind of alloy, and also a different kind of flux, because it didn't matter how much heat I applied and how much flux I applied, all that was happening is that the flux was burning off and all the solder would stick all over the copper. It was flowing on the copper lovely, like a lovely shiny silvery pond of molten solder, yet nothing was sticking to the aluminium whatsoever. So then I didn't have any choice apart from running long tracks of copper slug tape everywhere and then soldering on to the actual metal, or I don't know, would they be brass parts of the lights, and also the contacts that go underneath where the horses sit. So yeah, it looks a mess, and I probably should have just run wires, but I was trying to keep it original. I didn't think I would have to do so much repair on it. I ended up doing everything because I only had one 41 when it came to the positive of the light bulbs. I knew that I could see corrosion, so I knew there was going to be problems down the line. Even later that day, maybe it would have caused problems, and if not then, definitely down the weeks or months or years, it would have oxidized more. So I thought, while I've gone to the bother of taking it all apart, I'll just run copper tape everywhere. So I've replaced every single contact on here, and I've gone onto the actual contact, so really it's bypassing the rivets. Well, it is bypassing the rivets as well. So although it's taken me a long time, hence the reason for the voiceover, this took me about an hour and a half, I do think I'm hoping it's going to be a lasting repair. I don't know how quick copper tape oxidizes though. I'm thinking if it's indoors, maybe it doesn't oxidize that quick, but I could be completely wrong, and maybe that's the reason they went with aluminium in the first place, because that maybe oxidizes at a lesser rate. Haven't got a clue why they went with aluminium over copper. Is it just because it's cheaper? Don't know. Why didn't they just run wires? I don't know. Is it because it's just cheaper in the manufacturer to use this foil cardboard instead of running wires? I suppose maybe a machine can do it rather than a person. But then again, back when this was made, would this have been machine done? I don't really think so. I think it would have been assembled by hand. So I don't really know. If you know the answer to all this, you can pop it down into the comments below, and then we will all be enlightened. But as you can see in this next part of the video now, all of the running off the copper tape has been done, and although it looks a mess, it does work for continuity. Ta-da! Behold the masterpiece that is my mate Vince. Do you know what? In years to come, somebody will take this apart and just be like, what? What is going on here? But I think it will. I think it might last. I've soldered the corners, you know, where the weak bits are on there, where I folded the tape round. And yeah, it's copper. I think it might be all right. Now I have to concentrate on the swivelly bit, don't I? Let's do that now. So what a mess. How was this even working originally? Was it just bent round like that? I think we need to undo this. Problem I've got is I can't see how I'm going to make this springy enough to actually put pressure on here. Maybe originally this was a lot longer because it has been, you can see it's all been ripped here. Trying to remember how this goes back together. Oh yeah, that goes through here, doesn't it? Right, so that goes through there. That goes onto there, and then we have the circlip thing back on it. So I just want to make sure there's nothing on that side that's going to short against anything. No. So we can actually pop this back on. Like so. Right, okay. So that goes on there like that, and then this has to turn around here and join up the these things. So I'm thinking with this it would have probably been just like that with nothing else on it. Maybe, let's have a look. Right, okay, well that looks like it's a little bit too much. Too far that way, so if we were to straighten that and put the bend here, it doesn't seem ideal, does it? But saying that, maybe it works. I'm just thinking because it's broken here, maybe I was going to say maybe it rested, maybe it just had a little lip on it that just rested against here. Well, do you know what? I can put it back together because this thing just pops off anyway. And then I can just worry about this. I can worry about this afterwards. If it's not doing what it needs to do, then I can, maybe I can pack something underneath it to keep it in that position. I'm just thinking that maybe it needs to wobble a little bit. This, you know, when you throw it around, maybe it needs a bit of give. Because it is actually quite springy. I'm just wondering why they made it so small. Obviously whoever's done it has probably done a little bit of research into it, and maybe it does work just fine. Right, okay, obviously I haven't got any bulbs yet, but let's put the pins back in. Okay, so that's it all finished up there now. Oh, so it looks like there would have been tape across here originally. Yeah. Oh, so they taped up all that across there. All right, well, I can put some tape across there. All right, let's use some of this. This is gum strip sealing tape, so it's kind of like cardboard tape. I was told about this years ago by Gustav Frankfurter. So let's add some water and just put that across there. This is also good for like repairing cardboard boxes. Now, just to save everything corroding up again, I'm just going to use my heat gun at the lowest setting it will go just to dry it up. So let's put this back on, and I've got to put all the little nails back in. So I just need to protect the copper tape here with a little bit of Captain tape. Looks like there was a screw holding down the very middle of it here. Right, this broken one here I'm just going to try and crush with my pliers just to see if I can get it to grip back onto the pin. Whoops. Oh well, that will never be found again. That bounced off one wall and the other bit bounced off the other wall. So I'm missing a pin on this one here. I'm wondering, I think I'm going to nick one from underneath here because this is hidden. And although these are important to have because you don't want this fouling against it, I'm pretty sure it's going to be, I think it's going to be held in okay. Also, I'm just going to clean up these two because these two little contacts are very important that they stay nice and clean. Because this is what goes from the battery onwards, you see. Okay, so now we should have continuity. Let's turn it on. We should have continuity between this middle one and the battery, which we have. And now from this one, we should have continuity to the outside. Here, 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 and here. And from the inside, there, 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 there. Right, so I have to source some bulbs and I've also got to clean this up and then we'll see whether or not it works. It's about 5 or 6 days later now and I've been looking into the batteries. I couldn't find what would have been in here originally, but I did remember years ago when I was with BT, we used to have these little torches that you used to wear on your head so you had your hands free when you were working on the cables. And they used to take these weird flat batteries, and then I looked into these flat batteries. They're called AMN1203, so 1203, and they seem to be a very similar size to the hole here. So basically I thought that although that's probably not the original battery that went in here, it's a battery that's going to suit. But then these are 4.5 volts, and normally with these bulbs they do come in various different sizes. These are called E10 bulbs because the diameter of them is 10 millimeters. You can also get E5, and guess what? The diameter is 5 millimeters. So it's nice and straightforward. So if you look up E10 bulbs, they're very cheap. But I had to get 4.5 volt ones. Now I couldn't find 4.5, but I did find 4.8, I think these were. So they've arrived now, so let's put them in. Let's see if these are actually going to work or not. So let's just see what it says here. Yeah, 4.8 volts, 0.3 amps. Let's see if it's going to fit. Excellent, they fit. So I got 10 of them. They weren't expensive. I think there might have been 10 of them for £4 or £5, something like that. They weren't, they didn't cost much. I had a look on YouTube and there's no videos of this, so I am the first one, I think, to be putting this on YouTube, which is always nice. And when I had a look on eBay, some of them come with more pieces, so they come with little counters, so obviously you can place your bets on here. And as well as that, I noticed there was a weird red hoop thing. Now, I haven't Googled this, so I don't know the proper name of it, but if it's, I presume it must be called a post, because of like maybe first past the post. And if you look here, can you see there's a red thing here? So it was like a kind of a giant eye hook type thing that drops into this hole here, because I thought there might have been a screw or something that goes in here, but no, so I need to make up a little ring there. And that got me thinking, at this moment in time, I don't know where this corresponds to, but the horse number 2 here has to light up number 2 when it just passes the red post. So we are going to have to adjust this to make it perfect in order to, when we spin it, that it just doesn't just go off random. Because right now, depending on where this is, the finish post could be here, could be here, could be here, could be here, or I could be lucky and it could be here. So if it does work, then we need to undo this and adjust this. Right, so that's the bulbs in. Let's get this battery in. Oh, okay. Looks like we have to peel that off. Is that going to just pop off? Yes, it is. There we go. Excellent. Right, so I am going to do, not that it matters because it's just a circuit, but I am going to do the negative going off down this one because that corresponds to the outer ones here. So the negative on this one is the big one here. So let's see now how this is going to, how is this going to work? So I need to put a bit of pressure on the back there, don't I? In fact, will this thing? Oh, look at that. That's perfect. By just using the end of the battery, it's like it's made to measure. So now that should be, I think, making contact with there. Let's have a look if it's going to work or not. What do you think? Be nice to see it light up. Right, let's turn it on. Oh, that's not good. We've got 2 lit up. Right. Now we've got 1. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that is seriously nice. So number 6 has lit up. Number 6 is over here. So obviously that's not right, is it? But now that we know that's lit up, we can now move that middle bit to correspond. Also, why have I got 2 lit up sometimes? Let's go slow. Okay, 2 and 6, and then 6 goes out. So is that going to be the same on all of them? Yes. So that says to me that that copper thing needs to be a bit thinner because it's making contact between 2 of them. Right, okay, let's see if it works the other way. Yes, it does. How nice is that? Come on. That is just good. Right, okay. Well, I'm so pleased with that. No adjustment on the battery at all, and what a perfect fit. How lucky was I? What a perfect fit with the battery there. Look, it doesn't even come out if I turn it upside down. That's just great. Now, let's see if the on and off switch is working. So now, if we turn it off, it doesn't work. Brilliant. I actually think this is going to be a reliable fix. Right, let's work out now what we're doing with this thing here. So now, let's make it easy. So number 1. So number 1 lights up from here to here. From there to there, that section there. So let's put it in the middle of that section. Now, that means where we lit up here. So this one must be this one here must be number 1. That is actually, that suits us, doesn't it? That suits us. So 1's pretty close to there. So if I was to move number 1 round to here, is it as simple as that? Let's loosen this off, turn it round. Turn it round to number 1 there. And this piece of copper just seems to do its job. Well, let's see now if that's going to work. Okay, so the finish post is here, and number 1 comes up. So 3, hold on, 3's going to win, 5's going to win there, 3's going to win here, just as the feet go over it, yes. And just as the feet go over it there, 1's going to win, there. 4, 6, 2, we've got it. 3, no 5, sorry, 5. Excellent. Right, let's tighten that up. So now I have to trim this down smaller, don't I? I have to make it narrower. I hope I don't break this now. So I shave off a little bit, and then I shave off a bit more until I find the sweet spot. See, I can't shave off too much, because what will happen then is there will be positions where no lights are on. You want the light to be on, and then you want it to go on to the next one without both lights being lit up at the same time, but also more importantly without there being a gap so there's no light lit up. This actually took a little bit longer than you would think because it needs to be quite precise. But anyway, I shaved off little bits at a time until I had it, well, I think I had it perfect. Right, so I've been messing around with it, trying to get the exact sweet spot, and I think I found it, because now look, the lights don't go out, and yet they swap. As soon as one ends, the next one comes up. Ready? There you go, you see that? And I'm going around real slowly. There you go. So I think that is the sweet spot. Perfect. Right, I am going to glue the head back on, and I think we are then done. So I glue on the broken head using a bit of rolled up foil to use as a kind of metal matchstick in the middle, and then I just super glue it on, and it does a good job. Then I have to make a little finish line, you know, the red post thing. So I make that out of electrical copper wire, so 2.5mm, the stuff that you would have in the wall in the UK, and then I just put red heat shrink on that. That comes out really good, and then I just straighten up each of the horses because some of the legs have gone a little bit inwards, so I kind of open them out to make them stand up nice or run nice and straight so they're not falling over to one side. And that is it. At long last we are finished. I put it back in the box. Let's pretend we're opening this up for the first time when it was new. So here it is. Yes, the condition isn't great, but it's working, and it's just... I like it. I like the fact that there's a bit of wear and stuff to it because it just shows the age more. I'd love to know how old this is. I'm thinking 50s or 60s, but you put down in the comments what it is. I couldn't find out any information about this online yet anyway, but I haven't spent hours looking at it. It does say they're made in England, K London, and people are selling it as K's off London, so maybe they were a well-known toy manufacturer. Not too sure. Anyway, here it is. So yes, the condition isn't great, but it works. And I just think there's something so nice about it. Right, so when it's off, it doesn't do anything. And then when we turn it on, it does. Here we go, number 6, and that lines up with 6 here. So what a lovely little fix. Now, I know, go around the other way as well. I know most people probably won't click on a video like this, and once people see the very start of it, they would have probably turned off straight away. But I really like this one because it shows something that's a little bit different. I mean, this item itself hasn't been shown on YouTube before, so that's a bit of a novelty. I still think it is a very interesting product, and I thoroughly have enjoyed this repair, and I hope you have too. If you have, give it a big thumbs up. Take care, everyone. I'll see you soon.